These are all the things I used to spend money on that cost me around $4,000 a year. I'll tell you what I spend on them annually, what I do now, and stick around to the very end because I'm going to tell you one decision you can make that will save you just as much in case you want to spend on all 21 of these things. Hi, my name is Jen. I'm the co-host of Frugal Friends podcast, and I just wrote a book called Buy What You Love Without Going Broke, available January 2025, wherever books are sold. And in order to buy what you love, you first have to identify what you don't love. And for me, I have found 21 things that I used to spend money on that I no longer do now that I have aligned my spending with my values. Am I perfect? No. But these are things that I have drawn a line in the sand, and I don't spend on them unless I absolutely have to. And I'll also share what I spent on them annually and what I do now, so you can figure out if maybe it's something you want to think about cutting out. So the first thing I cut out was food delivery. And so I might have spent about $50 a month, so $600 annually on this, because I probably did it once a month, and it's so expensive that I spent $50 a pop on it. And so I still get takeout, but now I know that I would rather save the money and just pick it up myself. And so what that does is it limits the places I'm willing to go pick up food. So I'm less incentivized to do it. So I do it less often, in addition to saving me money. So I probably only spend like $30 instead of $50. The second is new furniture. So I'm not buying a lot of furniture, but I would probably buy one piece a year. And so I would say some years it's more, some years it's less. So on average, about $500 a year. So I no longer buy new furniture. I only buy used furniture. So we very much on all of our big furniture pieces, not necessarily appliances, but sofas, chairs, stools, almost everything you see behind me, we got from Facebook Marketplace. I don't buy it from Amazon because it's all very cheap quality, and we want really good quality furniture. So that probably saves me about $500 a year. The third is new home decor. One of my favorite things from Frugal Friends is when Jill told me about the trash can trick. And it's when you take the piece of home decor out of its beautifully curated, Magnolia Home or Studio McGee or whatever place, and you take it and you put it in the trash can aisle. And it's the trash can trick. And of course, it's going to look beautiful in its, expertly designed, curated set. But you're not getting the expertly designed, curated entire set most of the time. So if you're just thinking about one piece, put it near the trash cans. And if it still looks beautiful and you're still as excited about it, then take it home. Because your home probably looks better than a bunch of trash cans, but sometimes it can feel like a trash can. So, it'll help, but we don't buy any new home decor anymore. We, again, only use Facebook Marketplace, thrift stores, or like yard sales. Mostly I'm a Facebook Marketplace girl. I'm talking like wall, like art, anything decorative. I love yard sales for that too, for the small trinket-y stuff, but I really don't buy any of that anymore. And I probably save about $360 a year because I was maybe spending like $20 a month. Number 4 is new journals and notebooks. So this is outside of my planner. I do buy one new planner, a July to June planner every year. But for paper, I just use what I have. I use a lot of scrap paper, so paper that I get sent in the mail that maybe has a blank side to it, or envelopes, or all of the journals and notebooks I get from conferences. If I'm looking to start something new, like a gratitude journal or something, I'm gonna start with what I already have. And after a month or so, if I'm still doing it, then I can invest in something new. But buying something new does not initiate a new habit. It's spending, like procrastination spending. You're spending in order to procrastinate actually doing the activity. Don't buy the new journal or planner or what have you until you've actually shown a history of doing the thing. Next is cleaning services. So I used to spend money to have somebody clean my house every once in a while. For notebooks and journals, I would say I save around $180. For this, around $500 a year. Because I was not having somebody come every month even, just every couple months. And so what I did was we have now broken up these tasks into small chunks. So like if I think I need to clean the whole house at one time, it's going to get too overwhelming. I'm not going to do it. It's going to, build up, and I'm going to need to hire somebody. So we just take 10 minutes every day. Me and my husband take a separate 10 minutes, and we do what we can. And it doesn't fix everything. And there's some things that we won't touch. Like I don't like to clean the bathrooms. So I do the kitchen, pretty much the kitchen, and Travis is the bathroom. So we divide it up to what we hate least, and just do what we can in like 10-minute spurts. 6 is grocery delivery. So I tried grocery delivery. It's about it's $100 a year, I think. And I had a poor experience. This might not be you, but instead I do grocery shop online. I use the Walmart app and I grocery shop online, and I don't pay extra for that, but I would gladly because it does save me so much in impulse purchases. But I'll pick it up because it is worth that amount of time to save $100 on a year on a service that just wasn't serving me the way I wanted it to. So that's kind of like a personal preference for me. And I didn't use all the things that the service really offered anyways. Number 7 is stuff for new hobbies. So you know how I was talking about spending with journaling? The same on this one. I have bought stuff for macrame, stuff for calligraphy, stuff for scrapbooking, like a lot of crafty stuff. And I buy the stuff thinking I will start the hobby, and I don't. Or I start it and I realize I don't like it. So I don't buy new stuff for hobbies. I borrow it first. If I see like something I'm thinking about right now is like those paint by number things or cross stitching. Paint by number is a little harder, but cross stitching, I could definitely borrow somebody's like needles, thread, a piece of canvas, and like see if I like it before actually investing in all that kit, because it really has like one use. So borrow from a friend first, and then if you like it, then invest in the hobby. And so that has probably saved me about $50 a year, usually just one hobby. 8 is trendy fashion. So I've never spent a year without buying clothes, and I don't know if I ever would. Clothing is not something that's a big issue for me to spend a lot of, but I will find that every time I've spent money on trendy fashion, I've been disappointed. So I no longer buy it. I stick to what I like. And that saves me about $200 a year on stuff that I buy and then never wear. Next is shoes. I still buy shoes, and I buy shoes new. Sometimes I will buy them like slightly used, but really I wear one pair of Tevas everywhere, to all functions, formal, casual, everywhere. I wear one pair of really good shoes. And in the winter, I have a pair of like fashion sneakers, and I wear those every day. So while I do buy shoes, I'm not buying shoes every year. And so I'll save around $100 a year by just not buying multiple pairs of shoes. I use my one pair, I wear it out, and then I replace it. 10 is manicures. I don't get my nails done anymore because the paint just like chips off, and I don't feel like going to sit at a salon every couple weeks to do it. I do get pedicures, but those last longer. So I'm only going to get a pedicure like 3 or 4 times a year. Whereas manicures, you kind of have to go at least once a month. So I don't get manicures anymore. Instead, I'll get my pedicures and I will just go au naturel. I know some people love to have their nails painted and they'll get really nice, like I think it's Olive and June nail polish. That's just not me. I'm just going bare. The next is cleaning rags. I don't buy cleaning rags no matter how all natural they are, how revolutionary they are. I just use what I have. And so that'll save me about $20 a year on impulse spending cleaning supplies. I use old towels, conference t-shirts. I stopped getting conference t-shirts for a little while until I realized they made really good rags. And now I get them again. So those are things, I just try to reuse things for cleaning towels because they don't last forever. You gotta get a couple new ones every year or every couple years. 12 is dinners at fancy restaurants. So St. Petersburg is a little bit of a foodie city. It's not the foodiest, but it does have some like trendy restaurants. And I stopped going to them. I swear, Jill, she has only been here for 4 years and I'm born and raised here, and she is more of a local than me at this point because I don't know what is in this city. But I do still go out. I would rather just go out at a less expensive place. So if you know me, you know I love Carrabba's. Carrabba's has done me dirty in the past, but I still love you. I won't say in this video how it's done me dirty, but stuff like that. And mostly I would just like to get takeout. Honestly, I'm a takeout girl. Like I'll go pick up my dinner just so I don't have to do dishes and eat it in my pajamas in my home. That's what I really love. But yeah, if I do go out to a restaurant, if it's a very nice restaurant, I just put the too high of stakes on it. And then I'm always disappointed. So by doing that, I save around like $600 a year because you can't get out of a nice restaurant for less than $50 for 2 people. So next is gift wrap and gift bags. And what I do is I reuse every gift bag, all the tissue paper. I have not purchased that stuff in so long, but I say that and I do actually plan to go buy some gift wrap because I have something that I want to specifically wrap. And you can't really reuse wrapping paper, but as much as I can, I bag it with some tissue paper because you can always reuse a gift bag in tissue paper. And so you can find used gift wrap, especially holiday wrap. But what I've done for the holidays is I bought some holiday fabric and I'm reusing that for the holidays instead of buying holiday wrapping paper. But I have zero wrapping paper, zero neutral wrapping paper. So I'm gonna buy some neutral wrapping paper so that if I need to wrap something, whether it's a birthday or a holiday or whatever, I can use one roll of wrapping paper for all of it. So that saves me around $20. Next is beer. I used to go to breweries. There's a lot of breweries here because it's a popular place to hang out with people. It's a really good place to hang out with big groups. But I just realized one day that I don't like beer. I'm so sorry. I just don't like it. I do love myself a cocktail, but I don't love beer. And now wine, for that matter, I've started to like find a distaste for. So I'm drinking less of that. But I just decided if I go to a brewery and hang out with friends, I'm not just gonna mindlessly buy a beer just because I'm there. I will try to get my friends to hang out with somewhere else, but if it's a group thing that I'm not in charge of, I'll go to the brewery and I will not buy beer. Like I'll just have water. It's fine, I don't feel bad. And so that will save me around probably $120 a year. 15 is Amazon Prime. I have never paid for a full year of Amazon Prime. because I've always had other streaming services and I've always stuck to the $25, $35 minimum limit for free shipping. So I just haven't had the need for it. I've put restrictions on myself to not develop a need for it. I have done the free trials. So whenever a free trial comes up of Amazon Prime, I'll take advantage of it and I will binge everything on Amazon Prime, all the shows. But other than that, not really. I've maybe paid $1 for a week of Amazon Prime because Jack Reacher had a new season that I couldn't get all in a month and I wanted to finish it, but that's it. Souvenirs, I do not spend money on, so that saves me around $50 a year. I just don't bring gifts for people. I'm not a big gift giver in the first place, so don't come at me. I do buy gifts, but not a lot of them because I don't love to receive gifts. I don't like a lot of clutter. So I want to respect that for other people too. So I definitely don't buy souvenirs for anyone unless it's something that I know that they will like be obsessed with. 17 is records. I used to collect records because I thought they were cool. And we had a record player and we recently sold it and got rid of our records because we pay for Spotify. So, and I'm not a big like sound quality person. Like I don't need all the things that record collectors really like about records. That's not me. So I don't need to collect records just because they're cool. I like to play music in my car and I have a subscription that will do that. So I don't need records. So that saves me around $20 a year. Of course, I think records are much more expensive now than when I stopped buying them. So it could save even more. I don't know. Next is greeting cards. I do not buy greeting cards. That saves me around $10 a year. So not much, but I would write on a piece of paper, anything, write on the wrapping paper. But I throw away greeting cards almost instantly as soon as I get home. And I'm not going to buy a $5 or even a $1 card that is immediately going to go in the trash. I'd rather just give that person $1. So I don't do greeting cards. I have some stationery like blank cards. If I want to write someone a letter, I just use a blank stationery card. 19 is perfume. So this one's hard for me. It saves me about $100 a year because I wasn't buying perfume every year, but I was buying the nice perfume. I love Chanel Chance. Love it. Love the classic Chance. And I like the eau de perfume, not de toilette. I don't like the knockoffs, but I just realized, so Travis doesn't really like artificial scents. And if I bathe, I don't really need to wear artificial scents. So instead, I just take showers. 20 is crafts. I don't do crafts anymore because I'm just not crafty. I wanted to, and I've procrastinated on a lot of crafty hobbies as a result. But I've just realized like I am not artsy. I'm not gifted artistically. And so I've stopped going to the sip and paints because I just throw the canvas away immediately after I'm done because it's not a good picture. It's not good. And nobody at Goodwill is going to want it either. And the very last thing that I no longer spend on crafts save me about $75 a year. Contacts and glasses save me about $150 a year. And that's because I got LASIK last year. Now you're going to say, wait, that's way more expensive than $150 a year. But it was such a good move. I'm so glad I got it. And for me, it was worth every penny. I just have some like normal eye dryness just from looking at screens all day. But when I'm not doing them, my eyes are totally fine. I love it. And it saves me $150 a year on those things. So I can't say I stopped spending on this because I've never spent on it, but it's a new car. So by purchasing a used car, not a beater, just 3 to 5 years old, like bells and whistles, everything you want, leather, whatever. It's like, do your thing. But if you were to simply choose used over new, you could save $4,000 a year. So that's a monthly payment around $729 with the average term. The average loan for a used car is $26,000 and with a payment of about $528 a month with the average term. Those average terms are the same for both. So $729 versus $528, you're saving around $200 a month just by getting a used car. And that's taking into account the slightly higher interest rate of the used car loan because the used car is just so much less expensive than the new car. And again, we're not talking beater. We're talking 3 to 5 years old. So that's $2,400 a month right there. And if you are a 2-car household, that's $4,800 a year that you save by just choosing to purchase used cars over new cars. The only reason you really need to be buying a new car is if it's you need it for work because your work involves like having status, having a new car, which is totally fine. There's no shade on that if your career and your success rides on having a new car. That's an expense that's valid to you. But if you're just trying to look flashy at the stop sign, at the stoplight, that's not a need, that's a want. So I hope that's inspired you to get creative with how you spend your money. You don't have to not spend on the things I don't spend on just because it's me. This is my life. And you should decide what you don't value. I hope this has inspired you to make a list of the things you no longer value so that you can find the things you do and spend more on those. So if you're interested in learning more about values-based spending, then check out our book, Buy What You Love Without Going Broke. It's available wherever books are sold, and I think it will really transform the way you think about spending money.